everyone. I can see more than 100 people are here with us, so it's a great time to start. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another visa webinar by Zolve. I am Manchi and I am part of business team at Zolve. We have been organizing these webinars for the past 2 months, and so far we have helped more than 5,000 people in getting their visa approved. And on that race or line on that queue, there are so many people whose visa got rejected, and also there are so many people whose visa got rejected before and they are again reapplying for fall 24. So this session is targeted mostly for the students whose visa have rejected before, or if by any chance you're feeling underconfident about your visa interview, then this is the right platform for you. I'm sure the next 1 hour is going to be very, very insightful for every one of you. So let's quickly discuss what are we going to do today. So first of all, we'll address, of course, Sanjay sir is here and he will address the most burning question, that is, when will the refusal slots open? Like our WhatsApp group as well as my DM is flooded with this question that please tell me when will refusal slots open. After that, we'll discuss some common interview questions that you might ask if your visa is rejected before. Then how will you structure those answers? We'll discuss about that. After that, we'll also tell you what you need to do once your visa is approved. And at the end, we'll have questions from you, which will be answered by Sanjay sir. Before moving ahead, I would like to take a moment, as I always do, and talk about Zolve. So, Zolve is a neobank headquartered in New York. We offer plethora of products to help students make their transition smooth from India to the US. We have banking services as well as pre-departure services such as visa assistance, for which we are here today for the webinar. Other than that, we also have expert help. So if you want to interact with any of our experts like Sanjay Kaushik sir, or Brian Taylor from Interview Buddy, or Sachi Mall, who is a travel and visa coach, or any officer from Argo Visa, you can directly go to Zolve app and book your one-on-one consultancy by paying a small fee. Also, we have visa slot alerts. So if you are feeling FOMO about what if you miss about when the slots will open and you are not able to book your slots right away, so for that, Zolve app is the solution. You can simply go to Zolve app, go to store section and subscribe your visa, customized visa slot alerts. What I mean by customize is, for example, if I am going to Chennai consulate for my visa interview, so I can simply subscribe for alerts for Chennai Consulate. We are also offering education loan. We have partnered with 15 plus banks and NBFCs to offer you education loan at the cheapest interest rates. We also have Forex, and guys, we have finally launched our scholarship. Many of you might know, and those of you who don't know, we have Zolve Global Scholarship worth $50,000. So this scholarship is divided into two parts. I will just go to the slide. Yeah. First is need based and second is merit based. You can apply for both by downloading the Zolve app. And other than that, we are also launching flight offers soon. So many of you were inquiring, ki, oh, where should we book the flight? You know, the flights are very expensive. So we are also offering flight offers. We are partnering with companies to offer you flights at the cheapest rate possible. We have not launched the flight offer yet, but next week for sure. Other than that, to make your communication easier in a different country, you can order SIM card, US SIM card from Zoll. It's absolutely free. All you need to do is uh, add a plan from the top providers like AT&T or Mint and many other. So US is a credit averse economy, and it's very different for how we transact in India. For example, when you take a Uber here, you can pay by UPI or you can pay by cash. But when you go to US, and book your Uber ride from your airport to your accommodation or to your university. The Uber driver won't take cash. For that, you'll need to have a US credit card. And when you go to US, you will need a SSN, which is a social security number, to get a US credit card or a bank account. But at Zol, we offer these services without we offer this product and services without an SSN, which is a social security number. And it will also help you build your credit score from day one. We'll talk about it more going further. So, this is the one on one mock interview you can book on the Zolve app with experts like Sanjay Kaushik sir, Julie A, Maggie Ramsey, Sachi Mall, and Brian Taylor by paying a very small fee. So if you are feeling underconfident and if you want to interact with these experts in a one-on-one setting, you can download the app and book your consultancy. Also, as I talk about visa slot alerts, so you will get these slot alerts by email and WhatsApp and push notifications. And again, our very own visa document organizer. So now you don't have to fill any form to claim your free visa folder. All you need to do is go to the Zolve app and there go to the store section, and there are two banners. First you'll see of scholarship, and second you'll see of visa document holder or visa folder by Zolve. It is absolutely free. All you need to do is click there, fill the form, enter your correct address, and it will be delivered to you in 3 to 4 business days. And for all the students who will ask me ki, okay, I have filled the form last time and I have not received the folder yet, so we dispatch the folders in like in different sets. So the second set is dispatched, you will receive the folder shortly. Okay, without any further ado, I would now like to welcome Sanjay Kaushik sir. I think who doesn't need any introduction now. Sanjay Kaushik sir is a visa officer with ex-visa officer who has worked in US Embassy New Delhi, and he has experience of more than 2 decades. And I don't have a count of how many students he has helped. Maybe lakhs of students he has helped in cracking their visa interview. So, hello, sir. Welcome to the session.
Thank you so much, Manshi, and thank you for the introduction. And like I was just watching this all over again once again. You're doing a great job by helping students with their not only with the visa slots but also with their travel and their SIM cards and all of that. That's fantastic. However, I'm sure that a lot of students have a lot of anxiety about the visa slots. When will they open up? And in case if somebody's been refused earlier visas, please don't worry. A refusal uh, does not actually hamper your next chances. It does not reduce your chances of getting a visa the next time when you go for the interview. Opposed to what a lot of people say that your chances may go down, but that's not true. I've seen a lot of people getting visas even after one, two rejections. So first of all, don't get stressed. Just work on what you have to do the next time when you go in for the interview. So first we'll address like when are the slots going to open. So Mansi would agree that we've been talking about this when the slots would open up. When there were no slots, I said like May, June they'll open up,
Uh,
and they did.
I would like to interrupt, sir. I can see so many comments from students who are saying it's not audible. I mean,
Oh,
if I am not
uh,
audible, sir is not audible. Can you please clarify, guys? Can you please let us know in the comment box? Sir is not audible. Sir, your voice is low if we can do something.
uh, I'll try and be a little more louder. Please tell me if that's okay.
Okay, I think it
Both are
sounds.
clear. Okay, Navdeep says both are clear. Okay. All right. So what I was saying was, even earlier when there were no slots available, even for the first time, I kept telling the embassy would open up, and they understand that there are hundreds and thousands of students, those who are now queuing up to get the visa appointments, and which started off in the middle of May, and then there has been no bulk slot that have opened up yet, but be rest assured, I'm sure by this coming week, there'll be a lot of more appointments, not only for the first timers, but for the second timers, anyone who has been rejected a visa earlier. I'm sure they'll start getting the appointments towards the end of June or beginning of July. If you go onto the US Embassy's website, They've also clearly mentioned that they would be releasing the appointment. So please don't get stressed. I'm sure we'll all find slots, not only for the first timers, but also for the second timers. Just keep your patience. However, what process do you have to take in case if your visa was refused earlier, right? The first thing is that go back and start filling your DS-160 all over again. Give a gap of about 2 days, because the CGI portal updates after every 48 hours, so that once let's say a person got refused on the third, so he has to wait. He should wait for at least a couple of days before he can actually log in and pay the visa fees. The first thing is fill your DS-160 again. All right. Now there's a section which says has your visa been refused. So you have to mark that as yes. So once you mark that as yes, an explanation box would open up. A lot of people would just simply write saying that I had applied for a student visa and it got refused under Section 214B. Well, that's not enough. This is again an opportunity for you to go ahead and explain your situation. I would recommend that give a little brief on what you've done here. So, for an example, I suggest that students should possibly look at their own profile and then design an answer, right? Like after completing my bachelor's, worked in the industry for a couple of years, and after completing all my prerequisites and understanding how the industry is growing, I had decided to go and study in America. Based on that, I did my apply to 5 universities. I've got three admits, and I've chosen this based on my career objectives. Right? My parents are there to support me. They're financially very strong. However, unfortunately, on that day, my visa got refused under Section 214B. All right. So once again, this is an opportunity for you to show your ties to your home country, your intentions of going and studying over there, and your intentions of returning back to your home country, and also the support from your parents, and saying that they're financially sound, also talks about your social ties and your financial ties to your home country. All right. So make sure that you incorporate these kind of elements when saying why was a visa refused, opposed to just saying that my visa was refused under Section 214B, or I got nervous, I could not explain. That's an excuse. All right. So don't get into that. Write a kind of a solid statement which tells the officer that you have a reason to go and study there, and you've chosen that university based on your requirements and which are in sync and linked to your career objectives in India, and then talk about your parents' support, talk about the finances that they are ready to do, or if you've taken an education loan, include that as well. Because I've also got an education loan approved, which covers my tuition fees and my living expense as well. However, unfortunately, on that day, my visa got refused under Section 214B. So make sure that you incorporate these things. And when you're going for your next interview, you have to prepare once again that what could have possibly gone wrong. A lot of time when students go for an interview, they are a little stressed and there's so much of noise and so much of information that goes into a person's mind before he goes for an interview that sometimes he doesn't know how to project his case over there. He becomes a little nervous, becomes a little stressed, and they would only go and provide one line answers. That does not work. All right. So make sure that when you're going next time, be a little more proactive in providing information which is relevant to your case, which also talks about your reason of going there and your reason of coming back, instead of saying that we'll come to the points. I'm going to sequence the questions and sequence the answer and also address two important questions: that why was the visa refused, what changes have you made in your application. All right. Those are the two most important questions that goes around in the internet, sphere and the WhatsApp group and the on the Telegram group. I'll address that as well. However, those are the questions that officers usually do not ask. That why was the visa refused, or what changes have you made? What changes have you made? Sometimes this question is asked. All right. However, they would always start afresh. It's not that if your visa has been refused and the second officer is going to take your interview, is going to be biased towards you, saying that his visa was refused, so I'm going to refuse him again. It's afresh. The visa officers are trained how to overcome that. They're trained how to listen to your question next time when you're coming, and then also make an independent decision. Unless the last refusal that you encountered had something major to report. Otherwise, if it's a general refusal, then the officer may read the comments because the comments are there. Because the first officer would have written his comments over there. However, when the officer is looking at your case, he wants to give you a fair chance, right? He wants to listen to your story again and make sure that you have the right kind of opportunity to present your case afresh without any biases. So please don't go with a notion that the officer already knows your refusal. Yes, he's going to refuse my visa once again. That's not true. All right, be prepared. Once again, look at your profile, look at what you want to go and study there, look at why have you chosen this program. Maybe you could not articulate your answers well. Sequence your answers. The sequence of your answer when you frame an answer is also very important. What you tell first and what is in the middle and what's in the end, it's really important. It should not just be an answer. All right, it should be a well crafted profile of yours which gets into an answer like a system. All right, so everything that you want to go and present to the officer, it should be more of your personality, about your objectives. So once again, I keep telling everyone, when you start looking at your visa questions and when you start preparing for visa answers, do not try and copy anybody's comment or anybody's suggestion. Look at yourself first. What are your goals? What have you studied here? What are your projects that you've done? In those projects, look at the highlights. Was there a problem that you could provide a solution to? And then take it forward at a larger platform, that if you do have a situation where you understand that this education in America would give you those kind of skill sets to probably solve larger issues here, you know, then your answer becomes your answer. Relate that to real problems and real solutions. I had a very recent student who had applied for a visa earlier, an architect who was going for an urban design, and the officer asked regular questions. The student gave regular answers, but when they came to us, we started talking about how specific things were and how do you actually frame the answer. So we were discussing, and I said, like, India faces a lot of problem with traffic. You know, if somebody is going for an urban design, if you could work with the architects and the urban designer and town planners and create a right flow for the traffic, there could be a lot of solution that you could come up with. And that's the kind of answer he gave when he went for the next interview. And it was very simple for the officer to understand that this person has understood what he wants to go and study and what he wants to come back and solve a problem. So look around, what's happening around, and then try and figure out what you are going to go and study there. Will that impact once you return back? So make sure that you understand the kind of impact that you can actually bring in, with your education and with what you want to come back and do over here. All right. So once again, refusals are temporary. If you really work hard, you can actually overcome those situations. Okay. So make sure when the officer says, "Why do you want to go to the US?" Start your answer by telling him a little project that you've done here, and this entire answer that you give, should have an impact on the officer, and that impact should have uh, within 30 seconds or less than about, I would say, less than a minute for the first interview. So 15 seconds to 30 seconds are good enough for an interview or for a first answer to create an impact. All right. So why do you want to go to the US? Sir, I'm an architect and I want to go for an urban design program in the US. And I've also worked with a lot of town planners, and I would like to come back and address the traffic situation in India, right? Because I can work on the data, I can come back and provide those kind of real solutions which would have a better flow of traffic in India. That would create an impact on the local public and also on the carbon credits. We can also work on green technology. So that was the kind of impact he gave to the officer. Why have you chosen this university? Right? So because I did look at a couple of other schools, architectural school and urban design school, but this really stands out because Professor so and so is currently working on designing roads, and the traffic flow. So I really liked his work and the kind of impact that he's bringing in terms of designing the curriculum. That really attracted me. So your choice of college becomes more specific, right? And then how will you fund yourself is again like, my parents are going to fund me. First, talk about your social ties, their financial annual income, their total savings and investments, their properties, and then talk about the education loan if you've taken. Never start your answer by telling him that I've taken an education loan. Always talk about the connection between what you say and what the visa law says. The law says a student must show their social ties, financial ties, and their professional goals in India. So keep addressing that whenever you get an opportunity. All right. And then if the officer says, why not India, why US, then you can say, yes, there are very good architecture schools in India. But however, the kind of research America has done in traffic design, it isn't available here. So that's the reason, after careful comparison, I decided that US and this particular university is offering me the kind of program that would really enhance uh, uh, my career objective once I return back to my home country. So again, talk about that. And then if the officer asks you, which I said they usually do not ask, why was the visa refused? Let's say that the officer asks you this question. The answer to that would be, sir, I really do not know. I'd really worked hard. I'd applied to various colleges. I did my research, looked at various colleges, and I've got admitted into the university of my choice because it was offering me the right kind of course content, curriculum, and also along with that, I was also uh, fortunate enough to work or not work, but study under Professor so and so. My parents are there to support me, but unfortunately, my visa got refused on that particular day. And if it says, what changes have you made in your application? So the answer to that would be, say, there are no fundamental changes. Like, I have not changed my university, I have not changed my program. Please don't do that. That's going to be the worst thing if somebody does that. Right? However, this time I'm carrying additional financial papers, additional property papers, right, to show strong ties to my home country. So once again, this is again an opportunity for you to bring in the element of showing that you have strong ties to home country, right? So try and incorporate additional financial papers or an education loan or let's say an internship that you did that you could not mention last time. Bring all those things in and then deliver that to the officer in your speech saying that these are the changes that you've done in your profile this time. Not that and also a lot of people make this mistake that I got my visa refused in Chennai, so I would like to now go to Hyderabad or maybe Kolkata or maybe Delhi. And if the officer says, why have you come here? Look, the database is already there, and it is accessible for all the visa officers across, not only in India, across the world. If let's say somebody applies for a visa in India, in Delhi, and then next time he goes and applies for a visa, let's say in Australia, right? The same data would also be available to the visa officer over there as well, right? So it's not that data is stored in a particular area for that particular state and a city, right? So the data is stored um, on cloud, like we say, and then the officer can actually retrieve it whenever they want. Right? So always try and build your confidence. Look at what are the programs that you enrolled for. Look at what solutions you can bring in because the officer is looking at the real story of yours. They really want to understand why you want to go and study. What will you study there? What are the changes that bring in once you come back to your home country? What are the kind of positions that you would like to hold once you come back to your home country? So look at all those elements when framing an answer. The second time when you go in for the interview, right? And if you have more questions on why was your visa refused, and if there are any specific questions, I would like to ask Mansi that we could open up the question answer sessions, and then we could be more than happy to address those questions as well. Thank you so much.
Sure, sir. I think before we start taking questions from student, I think there are two questions that will largely address all of their concerns. When we started this visa webinars, so the slots were not opening, and I remember
Right.
you telling that it will open in May and something, and it opened somewhere around that. So, sir,
Correct.
what do you think the refusal slots about the refusal slots? When will that open?
So they'll open up for sure sometime end of June or beginning of July. And again, there'll be like hundreds and thousands of them
Okay.
for sure.
Also, there might be two scenarios, right? So there might be students who got rejected in, say, spring or fall 23, right? So they might reappear. Secondly, there might be students who got rejected, say, last month. So can they also reappear for this? How about
Yes,
this
yes, oh,
month?
definitely. Anyone who had applied earlier, let's say a year ago, or let's say last session, and anyone who got his visa refused recently, they both can apply and they both would have the same chances of getting their appointments.
Great. Cool. So, guys, we will start taking questions. You can simply post your questions here. But once again, as I always do, I will take a moment and definitely talk about Zolve. Uh, Just give me a second. And of course, if you have any questions regarding Zol, we are very, very happy to answer them as well. Just give me a moment. Meanwhile, you guys can keep posting your questions in the comment box and we will address that. And surprisingly, we have more than 200 students in this session, and
Uh-huh.
I'm very, very happy about that.
Good. You know, so once again, thanks to Zolve to reaching out to so many students, and I really wish all of them well. And I'm sure that I'll be bringing a lot of value to these webinars, and students would definitely benefit out of this. Because I understand that they have a lot of anxieties. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, I'll talk a bit about Zolve first. So Zolve is a neobank headquartered in New York. We have plethora of products that so that we can help you make your transition smoother from India to US. We have more than 1 lakh students using Zolve credit card. You name a university in the US and you will have a Zolve user there. Other than bank account, credit card, and US SIM card, we are also helping you with visa assistance. Uh, we we have experts like Sanjay Kaushik sir, like Julie A from ex visa officer, like Maggie Ramsey from Argo Visa, Sachi Mall, who is a YouTuber as well as travel and visa coach, and Brian Taylor. We have experts like this. So if you want to take one-on-one assistance from any of these experts, you can go to the Zolve app and by paying a very small fee, you can book a one-to-one meeting with them, right? And on very, very popular demand, we have finally launched Zol Global Scholarship for Fall 24 students. And it is worth $50,000. And this is based on two categories. First is need based, and second is merit based. So, for all these services, all you need to do is go to your Play Store or your Apple Store and download the Zolve app and simply apply. Uh, we also have slot alerts. So if you are, if you are living in FOMO that, oh my God, what if the slots open and I am not able to book my slot instantly? And, in the US Embassy website, there is a limitation. And you can open the website very limited in a limited number of times. So for to solve that problem and to make sure you don't miss any slot bookings, we have partnered with Check Visa Slots and bring these services free for you. All you need to do is go to Zolve app and subscribe for slot alerts. Is absolutely free, and you can get customized alerts on your email, on your WhatsApp, and push notifications. What I mean by customized alerts is, for example, if I am going to give my interview in Mumbai consulate, so what I will do is subscribe only for Mumbai consulate alerts. Other than that, those of you who are going for your visa interview or for anything where you need to carry your documents, you can get a free visa document holder or a visa folder from Zolve. By downloading the Zolve app, you need to click on the folder banner and fill the form and put your right address so that we can get the folder delivered or at your home. And now we will also have a lot of surprises on inside the folder for all the students who will apply now. So yeah, don't wait, go to the Zolve app and claim your free visa document organizer now. So we'll talk a bit more about Zolve bank account. So you can apply for Zolve bank account without a social security number. So when you go to the US or any other bank to open a US bank account, you will need a social security number. And to get the social security number, you need to have a job. And in US, you cannot work outside your campus. So Zolve is solving this problem, but by offering you a US bank account or a checking account without a social security number. So you don't need to keep any minimum balance and there is no annual fee. and the application will literally take you 2 minutes. All you need to do is go to the Zolve app, and by filling one simple form in which you will have all your details, you can apply for this bank account. Now, I will like to highlight the features of Zolve's credit card. So, you can get a limit up to $5,000, and it will take you 5 minutes to open the credit card. The credit card flow in the Zolve app or web is not open yet. We are going to open it by end of June or start of July. So, meanwhile, I'll request every one of you to apply for the SIM card, which is absolutely free, and you can also apply for the US checking account by providing very simple documents like your PAN, like your visa number, etc. You can apply for US bank account, and you can activate it the moment you land in the US. So with Zolve credit card, you can start building your credit history in US from the day one. And credit history in US plays a very, very crucial role. And we don't charge any annual fee or security deposit. And with every transaction you make through Zolve card, you will get 10% cashback. We also have three varieties of card. Black card, with black card you will get more benefits, and there is an annual fee in black card, but in other two cards there are no annual fee, and you can apply by end of June or beginning of July. Now, we'll take any questions if you have about Zolve, and then we'll move ahead to questions about refusal slots or anything. And Sanjay sir will happily address that. Okay, cool. So many students are raising their hand. Should we ask them to share in person the questions?
So Manshi, while you were, giving Zolve explanation, I noted down few questions. So can I
Okay.
just go read them out and just answer them?
Sure,
Is
sure,
that
sure.
fine?
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So because what I also read was that one of the students, he was taken into a separate room and his financial documents were taken and he was questioned repeatedly. This usually doesn't happen unless the officer believes that there's something which is not so right about the applicant, or maybe the application, or maybe there was a disconnect between what he was saying and what he was presenting himself as. So this is where the problem happens if you're trying to over exaggerate, or trying to carry documents which possibly were not appropriate. Sometimes I've seen these kind of cases, so I would always suggest and recommend every student, so please do not get into any kind of a situation where an agent or somebody is trying to tell you that he can arrange documents for you, and he could possibly give you bank documents or property papers or anything to assist you in getting your bank accounts and showing it for visa. Please stay away from all those kind of elements. It doesn't happen, but it can happen to anyone. And because I worked in the embassy and one of my job profile was also in the anti-fraud unit, where we were trained how to look at the documents and to identify those documents which were not appropriate. So I would suggest and recommend everyone to take authentic documents. Look, please understand the officer's objective of the interview is to make sure that a student understands his goals, understands the subject, that he's a credible student. He has intentions to go and study there. Documents plays a very small part in terms of making a decision for the visa officer. You can talk to hundreds and thousands of students, those who've gone for an interview, and you'll realize that not all students were asked to submit documents. I would say about 90% of students, those who've gone for interviews, the officer has not even asked for their documents. They're more inclined and interested in talking to you. So, once again, make sure that whatever documents you're carrying are absolutely authentic, and focus on yourself, focus on your answers, focus on your career goals, focus on the subjects that you want to go and study there, and try and, like I said, relate everything to a possible goal in India that you want to come back and solve that problem, right? Once you do that with confidence, the officer understands that you're a legitimate student. So that's one. The second question was that if the officer says, why have I changed my university? So my suggestion is, that you should only change your university if you're getting into a better university, right? If you're going to a similar college, or if you're going to a college or a university in America which is lower than the first one, or even similar, the officer will think in his mind that probably the student is not very convinced, or was not very convinced when he had applied for his first visa, right? That shows that you are not very sure of what you want to do and why have you chosen this particular college. All right. So if you are changing the university, make sure the second university is much higher than the last university that you're going in, that you had applied for a visa for. If you're not sure of, or if the university is at the same level, or if the university is notch below the first one, then I would say stick to the first one only. All right. And if you're applying for a visa the second time with the same university, that's okay. You know, the university, if you do not, it's not important for you to change the university unless you get into a better university. All right. And then there are a lot of questions that I also read was like, why double masters? Right? It all depends on everybody's profile. Let's say that you did one master 3 years ago and you've been working in the industry, and then you have taken up bigger roles where you believe that now it's time for you to upgrade your skills. So you have to give a certain justification to the officer that why do you need a double master's now? You know, otherwise, most of the time the officer might believe that you've studied over here, you've been working, and you're not satisfied, and you just want to leave for America for good. But unless you are able to convince the officer, first is you got to be convinced yourself that this master's would really help you grow professionally. What are the skill sets that you are missing? And this program can elevate those, or incorporate those elements or skill sets for better growth for yourself. First, be convinced, look at your job options, look at your job um, parameters, and then what program you have enrolled for. Are they all in sync or not? If that is the case, then it becomes easier for the officer to issue a visa to you. But if your answers are generic, it does not relate to any specific skill set or a career goal or a career objective, then the officer is not convinced. All right. So make sure that you have a convincing story for yourself. All right. So that should be very important. And I've already explained the reason for refusal, what you have to write on your DS 160. So make sure that you again put in some elements which talks about how hard you work, what have you been doing, why have you chosen this particular university, how are your parents supporting you, and then in the end you can mention that unfortunately my visa was refused under Section 214B. Right? So those were the couple of questions that I saw while Mansi was addressing about Zolve. So we
Yeah.
can take those questions, Mansi.
Sure. I will suggest people who have raised their hand, if you can explain your concerns with the sir, and sir can answer. We'll
Right.
go one by one. Harman, if you're here. Akshay, if you're here, you can.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir, I have one question that I have changed something. I have added something new to my profile. Like I'm doing course in C++, which is in my curriculum. So
Okay.
should I mention that in my DS 160?
So what? No, I'm not able to understand your question. Your question is that you've
Like
done.
I have been
Uh,
refused before. So to make a change, I have added something new to my profile. That is like I
no,
have
hold
done
on.
a course in
Sorry.
C++ programming.
Now, just tell me one thing. So when was your last refusal?
January.
January. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, so what were you doing? So when was it that you graduated? Tell me that first.
Sir, I have done my senior secondary in 2023. I am
Okay.
not like graduated.
All right. So after 23, that would be somewhere around March or April. April
Yes,
23.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So what are you doing? What are you doing now or since then?
Like I have now done a course in C++ programming, which is related to my course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So my question is, when you completed your school in April 23, what did
Yeah.
you do since then? Were you working? Did you enroll
No, I
yourself
was
for
not.
a course?
I was just preparing for my US.
All right.
Like,
So there has been a 1 year gap now, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. In January you applied for a visa, and
Yes.
what program were you going there for?
Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science.
Okay. And how many universities you had applied to at that point of time?
Four.
Four. Okay.
Yeah.
And after your refusal, you enrolled yourself for a C++ program, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is it a certification or a diploma?
It is a certification.
Okay. Yes, then you can add it, and then you can add this in your refusal as well. That I was always interested in upgrading my skills and keeping that in mind, and also my objective of studying in America. I enrolled for a C++ program, and have
Okay.
learned the new software which would enable me to also understand my existing or my program that I have enrolled for in the US. Link it
Okay.
to your studies in America. Yes, you can mention
Okay. I should mention it by like in the refusal explanation, right?
both. What are you currently doing? If you're still enrolled, then say, mention your institute's name and mention that you're doing C++. And then, of course, in your refusal also you should explain and then bring it
Okay.
together towards your career goal.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Right, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Cool. Akshay, if you can go next.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks, Akshay. Tell me.
Sir, I was refused on May 16.
Okay.
Let me tell you about my profile. I have around 5 years of experience, and I'm going for MS in Computer science at Sunny Binghamton University.
Okay.
Uh, Sir, actually, I mean, before my interview, actually, I did not follow your videos actually, and after that, I came to know about you, and maybe I did not understand. The interviewer has asked me around 15 questions, so I was not sure whether on which question on or the reason,
Look, I'll
and
tell you what. First, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If the officer asked you 15 questions, that means
yes,
that he was really inclined towards issuing a visa. Usually they would ask like, 4 or 5 questions and that's it. So he really wanted to understand why you want to go and study and how will that help you.
okay,
All right.
and when yeah, I mean, gone through my answers. So I mean, I did not mention that I would be returning to India, but like one of the question he asked 2 times, like, why do you want to go for masters after long time? I mean,
Okay.
so his intention was not about like why I'm going for masters, but why after like I have 5 years of experience. His intentions, why did you not go for after 3 years? Why after 5 years? How? So I mentioned that sir, I'm working as a software developer and I implement features of a portfolio construction tool used by portfolio managers. My project as well as other projects in my company are moving to cloud and adopting artificial intelligence. By completing masters, I would be broadening my skill set and have a better career growth. I mentioned this thing. So, I mean,
Look, it's very difficult for me to ascertain, you know,
okay,
unless I listen to the whole story. But like it's a good question, and also like because you have about 5 years of experience, and so a lot of people could also be in a similar situation. So let me tell you, like when the officer is asking you why do you need a master's now, right? That's where you have to take the answer head on, saying that I believe this is the right time for me to do a master's because with my last education and my experience, I've reached here. I've really excelled in my career. But if I have to break the glass ceiling, or if I have to take on bigger roles, right? And because of the ever-changing technology, it is very important for me to go and do my masters, incorporate these skill sets. You've got to talk about those skill sets, very specifically, right?
okay,
Saying that because while working here, I was put on a project which I delivered, but then I had to struggle and I had to, talk to a lot of people to understand the newer technology. So now I believe that I'm now ready to take on project manager's role or a project leader's role. And hence the flexibility which is provided in America, not only with the core subjects in the specialization, it also gives me the opportunity to do few electives in management, supply chain or project management, which is related to your field. You can incorporate those things. Like then it sounds serious that you are not only looking at your technical to upgrade your technical skills, but also you want to improve on your managerial skills. Because
okay,
after working for 5 years, now you are looking at being a project manager. So you have chosen this, and unfortunately, these kind of programs are not available in India, right?
okay,
So
okay,
bring those things, you know. And then it could be a lot of questions the officer might ask, like, why do you want to go to the US? Why have you chosen this particular university? What are your subjects, right? What were you doing? What were your programs that you've done here, right? How long you've been working? What are your roles? So he wanted to understand and connect it with what are your future plans, and also uh, the program that you've enrolled for. So look at your profile very holistically,
Okay.
right? And then, give an answer to the officer, which brings in what you've done here, what are you currently doing, and then, of course, the program that you've selected there along with the electives, how will that make you ready to take on bigger roles? Okay.
Okay. Sir, actually, I was part of one POC, proof of concept project in my company.
Yeah.
So in that, the latest technologies like machine learning, big data, and cloud was used.
Yeah.
So my intention of going for master's is like if I have those skills after completing my master, then I will have more chances of getting into those projects.
Correct.
Uh, so my current skills are different, and after getting my master's, my chances of going into those projects will increase in the current company. So how
Correct.
to frame this answer? I mean,
I just
uh,
gave you the answer.
okay.
I just gave you the answer. So that I've been working on for 5 years, and my last project was, working on big data and machine learning and all these things, and I had to struggle, you know, but I
Okay.
made sure that I delivered the project very efficiently. But then it also made me realize that it's time for me to upgrade my skills along with a project management electives to come back and take on these kind of roles and bigger roles, because my company is growing, my role is growing in the industry. Otherwise I'll be stagnated.
Okay. Sir, and one more question he has asked is, you got admit from Arizona State University, which is highly ranked university. But what happened is, I applied for MS in Computer Science,
Yeah.
but I was received admit and recommended for MS in Software Engineering.
Okay.
So I mentioned that I would have chosen Arizona State University because I mean, if I would have received for MS in Computer Science.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe this is the reason, or because
No, no, no.
no,
This
right?
is not the reason. Look,
Okay.
the officer also understands there are two things. One is the department ranking, the other one is the university ranking, and of
Okay.
course the kind of program that you're going for. Your justification was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one few changes related DS 160. In the last DS 160, actually, I did. You said that like when we put our parents as our like who are paying for a trip, if you put our parents, it shows our home ties. So
Correct.
actually, last time I did not put my parent because my dad did not file ITR and his income is less. So I put my brother's name over there. So this time, my parents, this time I'm thinking of putting my dad's father as my sponsor. But my father's income is less compared to my brother. But overall, my family will be sponsoring, including my savings. So will it be fine if I put my father's name over there in the DS 160?
Yes, correct. It should be. When you go in for the visa interview, it is important on your DS 160, you mention your parents' name, especially your father, depending on the family. And then, of course, when you go in for the interview, carry financial papers of every member of your family, father, mother, brother, sister, grandparents. You can include everyone, because that shows your strong social ties to your home country for sure. You can include all of that as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Last time I thought that whoever is like has more income, we should put that name. So I
No, 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 no.
mm,
It is always like, you can include everyone. All right. Good. So
okay.
we've got other people, and
Okay. Thank
I
you,
think
thank
sir.
you so much.
we should also restrict this a bit by letting
Thank,
students ask just one question so that we can cater to all of them.
Correct.
Okay.
thanks, sir, for answering my question.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, Vamshi, you can go next. But one question, guys. Only one
Yeah.
question.
Yes, Ramji.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. This is Vansi, and I have done my master's integrated program, like 5 years course, in here India, and I want to do a specialization course concentration with AI in USA Arizona State University. And when I went to my previous interview, first attempt, and they asked about my previous degree, like 5 years course, and in my fifth year, I did some research on one project, and I conclude on the project, and I also publish a research paper also, sir, on that. And but they did. I I can't able to convey like what exactly what I did in previous degree. So I might think that could be a reason because of my refusal. Like so for now, what should I mention my DS 160, the reason and the about my bio. Any suggestion for
Right.
me?
Yeah. So, Vamsi, like I said, you have to give a little brief. And it's a good question. And also, this what I want to address to a lot of other people here is that when you go in for a visa interview, make sure that you're not making very long sentences, right? And I keep telling everyone in a very funny manner is that it's not an English test. It's not an IELTS speaking test. Okay, you're not getting score on your English speaking ability. Over there, it should be, your answers should be very concise, and do not try to include fancy words or like anything that sounds too big for you or difficult for you to remember. Try and make your answers as simple as possible, which would help you deliver that. Like again, it's not an English test, right? Make very simple answers. So if the officer says, why do you want to go to the US? Then I've done my bachelor's here. I've done projects in C++ and artificial intelligence, and I believe I need to upgrade my skills because once I return back, have those simple elements included there. If you've done a project, name that project. What program have you done? That you should have the ability to remember that and deliver that rather than using, long answers and trying to memorize a paragraph. That's not going to work.
Right?
The interview at the embassy is going to be not more than 2 minutes. I was just talking to a student in the morning. His first answer went for 5 minutes. I said, look, 5 minutes, the officer would have taken three interviews. All right.
And
So
again,
the whole thing is that try and concise your answer, make it relevant, and it should information that the officer could make a decision in your favor. All right.
but
So
in the
once again, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but in the point of DS 160, I have to mention everything what I've done in project, everything, including the networks
Once
and
again,
everything.
it should not be like an essay.
Okay.
I did my bachelor's BTech with these subjects, and in my project, I did so have a two-liner project description. And based on that, I decided the masters in the US would really give me these programs to take on bigger roles once I return back. You know, so have a little description there, but not like a full paragraph. Couple of lines would work.
Okay, so that explanation I should be able to only mention my bio, not in the reason for the refusal.
So in your reason for refusal, you have to mention. So, why was the visa refused? So, after completing my bachelor's, I've been working in the industry for X number of years. And while working, I realized that artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, or cybersecurity have really taken over. The new technologies are coming. I did my research, applied to 5 colleges, got 3 admits. I've chosen this one because it's offering me a core subject in this. There are capstone projects and the electives in these subjects, which would improve my profile holistically, take on bigger roles once I come back. My parents are there to support me, right? They have savings, investments, properties. In addition, I've taken an education loan, right? However, on that particular day, my visa was refused under Section 214B. So this would be good enough for you to explain that.
Fine, sir. Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Simranjit, if you can go next.
Hi,
Okay.
Simran. Okay.
Arpita Reddy.
Yeah, Pita.
Simranjit, you're unmuted. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Simran.
sir, I'm up. Hello, sir, I'm
Yeah,
Arpita, sir.
yes, Arpita.
Yeah, Arpita, go ahead.
Sir, actually, I had a gap of 7 years because I'm having a reason, genuine reason, like my mother was ill at the time, so I could not continue my studies. Now I have applied for MBA. So I can tell the same story to the visa officer.
Yes, but uh, I mean, what were you doing before? I mean, right after your graduation, what were you doing then?
At the time, I'm doing a Bachelor of Commerce with the
Okay, you
computer.
did BCom, and you
Yeah,
graduated which year?
in 2015.
Okay, and after 2015, did you work anywhere?
Yes, sir. I worked for administration side.
Okay.
After that, an account executive, I worked for software solutions,
Okay.
keyboard software solutions.
And how long did you work there?
Last year,
How long did you work there?
7 years, sir.
You
7 years
worked for
I did.
7 years.
Yes, sir.
So where is the gap?
No, sir. Like work experience. For masters and for studies, there is a
No,
gap,
no.
right?
Okay. So all students, be very clear that if you've been working, that is not called as a gap. Okay.
Okay.
Gap is if somebody completed his schooling or completed his masters and wasn't working at all, probably like preparing for civil services or probably preparing for other competitive exams and did not work. I would call that a gap, right? Or if they were not doing anything, if they were not employed, but this is no gap. Okay. So you have to go and tell the officer saying that I completed my bachelor's in 2015 and I've been working now for 7 years, and I believe that this 7 years have taught me so much that I want to progress in my career. you know and if I have to take on the next level, it's important for me to have a master's degree. I looked at Indian education, I looked at the American education, and then you justify it. Don't say that I have a gap of 7 years and I was taking care of my mother. you know that wouldn't work.
Actually, what happened last time? Visa officer asked me like after 6 years why you are applied masters.
Right. So I
Uh,
just gave you the answer, no? So I believe that after working in the industry for 6 years, I believe this is the right time for me to upgrade my skills. You have to take that head on. It should be your decision that yes, I understand that I've put in 7 years. It's difficult for me to leave my job and then do my education, but I've taken that decision because I want to progress. This is an investment for my future. So take that as your, like I keep telling everyone, own the answer. You know, you have to have a lot of force behind the answer. Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank you. Can we take another one?
Yeah. Vivek or Simranjeet, if you can go next.
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
Sir, I have completed my diploma in computer application last year, and I had my interview on the 5th of June, Delhi. The visa officer only asked me two questions: how many universities did you apply to, and why have you chosen the Northern Arizona University? I gave them an answer like I had a pretty prepared and good answers, but I didn't know like what was the reason that I got rejected.
Okay. Now, so when once again, Simranjeet, when was it that you completed your studies? What did you
I have
study?
com- So I have completed my 12th in 2020 in a physics, chemistry, math, and after that I have
Exactly. So
completed.
2020 and now we are talking about 24. So what are you doing since then?
So I have done my diploma in computer application in July 2023. 20, yes, sir, 2023.
No. Simar, let's go one by one. In 2020, you completed your studies. 20,
Right.
and then what did you do immediately after 2020?
So there was a lockdown, so I couldn't pursue my education. After the lockdown, I had a mind to uh, do something, so I have gone for a diploma in computer application.
Okay. And how many universities did you apply to?
Sir, I have applied to four universities: Northern Arizona University, Rice State University, University of Bridgeport, and Southern Illinois University. And I got admit from all of them.
Okay. So did you appear for an SAT?
Yes, sir.
What was your score on your SAT?
So, sir, it was a 70%.
70%.
Yes, sir. I don't know the score service, but I have
No,
figured
but
it
you've
out.
got
It
to
was,
give me the number anyway. All right. Okay. And the officer asked you these questions that why have you chosen this university?
and how many university did you apply to?
Okay. Okay. So how many universities you applied to and why have you chosen this university, right?
Right, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. So I mean, I would suggest that I would like to have a one-on-one session so that I can understand your situation much better. Because
Okay.
I'm not able to comprehend, there could be a lot of gaps, right? Because you did
Right,
your education in 2020 and now that in 24 you're going with a diploma. So the officer possibly, was not very convinced of your reason of going there. So, I mean, so you can, I would suggest that book a one-on-one session so that I can understand more and suggest you better. Okay.
okay,
Sorry.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Manshi.
Thank you.
Yeah, Amir, if you're here, you can go next. Okay, if Amir is not here,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Sir, I refusal on 11th of June.
Okay.
And my profile is I'm a software engineer and working since last 3 years. So officer asked you why now you want to go for US to do your master. I just replied that after working 3 years right now, I feel that this is the right. I believe that this is the right time to enhance my skill in the field of data access algorithm, data mining, operating system, and to enhance my skill and to grow up and ladder in my country.
Okay.
And and he passed the sleep of 1 4 week, and he said that you can reapply.
Right. So, which university were you going to?
I'm going to Akron, in the University of Akron.
University of Akron.
Yes.
Okay. And how many universities did you apply to?
I applied for 2 universities, the Clark University and the University of Akron.
And did you receive admit from Clark?
Yes, yes, I received admit from both.
Right. So why did you choose University of Akron?
Actually, the courses the University of Akron provided is really good. I really wanted to do that courses. Apart from that, the professor over there, Dr. Mikhail Elkoloid and Dr. Chance, and their research on data mining is really attracted.
Okay. All right. So what I would suggest when you go in next time, be more proactive in giving a lot of other information about your career goals and career objectives, right? So don't just stick to the answer. Sometimes the officer is not convinced of why a particular university. So make sure that you provide that information voluntarily. A lot of other information that you did your research, you spoke to the professors, or you looked at their work. Talk about all those things. Okay.
Sir, I really wanted to go for one-on-one session with you to reframe my answers and questions.
We'll do that. I mean, you can. I'm sure, like Manchi said that on that app you have all the counselors and you can book it.
So,
Right?
Amir, if you can
Thank
book in the app or I am available on the WhatsApp group, you can DM me as well. And
WhatsApp group. I'm not on WhatsApp group.
we'll share the link here. I'm sure if you have
Okay.
registered for the event, you'll get. But anyways, I'll share the link here. You can DM me. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Nikita, if you're here, you can go next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, sure.
Nikita, you're here?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, I was refused on December. In December, I got refused. Uh, until then, I have done preparation for a visa interview, and now I've taken internship in digital marketing HR department. But I'm from computer science background. So do I need to mention all this to visa officer, or
Yeah. So what?
shall I just
Yeah. Hold on. What will you go study there?
computer science, sir?
Computer science. All right. And what are your career goals?
My career goal is I want to become a software developer, and I'm more interested in technical background. Like basically, I'm from computer science. I want to become a software developer, and I want to upgrade my skills in different programming languages. So I'm going to Montclair State University. Sir, is that a good university for second attempt?
Okay. So first thing is so once again, like a lot of people say that I want to be a software engineer or I want to be a civil engineer. But then, if you want to be a software developer, what kind are you looking at, developing software for websites? Are you looking at, developing software for companies? What kind of work you want to do?
Yes, sir. In developing, basically front end, and I'm okay with also.
Okay, so then you can always mention about, the digital marketing that you're doing, and you could always say that, I took up this job so that I could understand what the user, feels when he's using a particular product in terms of, let's say, an app or probably a website, because I want to be a software developer and developing, what do you say, websites for a lot of companies in India. So I want to make it more user friendly. So yes, you can talk about and that's how you can connect all your goals with what you've done here. It becomes very important to show the officer, even after refusal, you were employable. You know,
Okay,
because
sir.
once you show that you were employable, that gives them the reason and confidence that you have reasons to come back as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Good. Thank you.
Sir, one more question. That Montclair State University, is it a good university for second attempt? First attempt, I went with UCM, University of Central Missouri.
Sorry. Well, the university, I've not heard about that university as much. So I really don't have the bandwidth to give you whether it's a good university or not. But the thing is that, I've not heard about that university.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
It's a
Navneet,
new.
you're here.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, I was refused.
Uh-huh.
Sir, I was refused on 31st May for UCM in industrial technology.
Okay.
So my questions was why this university, and I have experience of 3 years, sir. The officer asked like that. What do you like most? Uh, I was so nervous to explain the answer. So I went with UC, University of Central Missouri, and more admits are California State University in North Valley. Should I go with this?
Like I just said, like, if you're changing your university, the next university should be much higher and a better rank
Okay.
university than the first one. If yes, then you
Okay.
should go for it.
Sir, then in DS-160, what is the refusal reason? Should I mention that?
Well, I given that example, umpteen times now, saying that, you've got to explain that after my bachelor's, I've been working in the industry for X number of years, right? And after
Okay.
looking at my career growth and career objectives, I decided to study in America. Based on my profile, I did my research, looked at various colleges, applied to six, got three admits, and then I've chosen this because this has these components which are directly in sync
Okay.
with what I want to do in my future. My parents
Okay,
are
sir.
there to support me. They have savings, investments, the whole thing. But unfortunately, on that day, my visa got refused.
Sir, the one question. Should I go with University of Central University for me?
I
Second,
lost you. University of Central.
Central Missouri. Missouri.
Yeah, that's a good university.
Oh,
So,
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
yeah, it's a good university. But make sure that
Okay, sir.
you know about the university. You must know about the program. You must know about the specialization, and of course, because you've been working for 3 years, the core subjects and the electives. What are the electives that you want to choose? So try and
Yes, sir.
make a combination of these things according to your career goals.
Sir, main reason I choose this university, sir, that Dr. Jeff Ulmer has 24 years of working experience in this industrial technology, so that I would like to enhance my skill under his guidance. So I chosen this university, sir, first attempt.
Okay, look, the professor is good. You can talk about the professor saying that, why is this professor? Because he's done this kind of research and then
Yes,
they've
sir.
developed the curriculum to match the industry requirement. Not that you just
Okay,
want to go because of the professor.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The professor is developing that curriculum. So that's the reason you're going there. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so
Nilay,
much.
if you're here, you can go next.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
Sir, I was refused in December 2023, and I have completed my bachelor's in computer application in June 2023. My reason was that my mother and sister have filed a immigrant petition on behalf of my mother. So I think that it was the main reason that I was being rejected, and I have chosen the Lawrence Technological University. Is this the good university for my from my side?
The first thing is like, your mother's petition is still pending or when was the petition filed?
In 2008.
2008. Okay. All right. So that still would take about 3 years. And what's your age now?
My age is 21.
Okay. So did the officer ask you this question that, your parents have an immigrant visa pending?
No, no, sir. Officer haven't asked me, but I think that it was the main reason that I was being rejected.
So this could be one reason. However, so your relatives, where are they living in America?
In Boston.
And you're going to university which is in Boston?
No, no, in Michigan.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like you should reapply for your visa, and you know keep this in the background, saying that yes, in case if they do ask, you can mention that yes, that immigrant visa petition was filed for my parents in 2008, and now that I'm 21 and above, so I actually don't qualify for that. And moreover, once the immigration comes, my parents will decide at that point of time whether they would like to immigrate or not, because we have our own very well established work here. We have our properties here. So they decide. But your focus should again be on your career goals and your career objectives, and on, of course, the program that you've enrolled for. Make sure that you can deliver that, and you should deliver that always.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Gagan Raj, you're next.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, hi, Gagan.
Sir, I want to discuss my profile as I had completed my senior secondary education in 2022, and I had applied for last spring intake, but I did not receive any reward from any university I had applied to. Uh, so my plans changed and I shifted to the fall intake.
Okay.
And I again applied for 2 to 3 universities, and only I got admit from University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. As I am going for bachelor's in accounting, so the officer asked me what I was doing for 2 years. So what could be the possible, the best reason that I could have given for my gap justification of 2 years?
You got to tell me what were you doing for 2 years. Only then I can justify it.
I just gave an exam for English proficiency test, and the rest time was only occupied while applying for these universities.
Okay. So what are your parents doing?
My father is actually a farmer, and my mother is a housewife.
Okay. And you want to go and study accounts in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's nowhere related to, like, I mean, it would be very difficult for me to build any kind of a subject for you, saying that, this is what you were doing. You could always say that, I was helping my father, or if you had any relative that you could be helping them out in their business, or, some kind of internship that you should have done. But now that so you went for the interview, and on your interview, you mentioned that you were not doing anything, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So there is no justification, because uh, you should have made some kind of justification before applying for the.
Okay, sir. So the next question they asked that why are you going for bachelor's in USA rather than India? So I mainly came out with 2 points. The first one was the university that I had applied to give personal attention to the students as compared to Indian universities. The next point I elaborated about that how these universities have strong connections with local business communities that would help me a lot to check the on ground reality about market conditions.
Wrong answer.
Where might I have been gone wrong?
I mean, you're saying that the university has tie up with local businesses, which tells that your intention is to.
Sir, but I mentioned at the end that I would use those skills when I return back to India.
Well, I mean, you got to understand what is the officer thinking, right? Not what you want to go and tell him.
Okay, sir.
Right?
So that's the main point which I might have gone wrong.
Correct. This could be one of the reasons. Not the only reason. This could be one of the reasons, right? Because I always tell everyone that any conversation, including interview, is subjective. What you say and what the other person could understand could be two different things, right? The officer's thinking is according to the visa law. The law says that anyone who's going there should show their intentions to study there, right? And a stronger reason to come back.
Sir.
When people say that I've chosen California because I really like the location over there because it's Silicon Valley, after that the officer is not listening to you. But the applicant wants to say it's Silicon Valley because most of the professors are in touch with them to bring in the industry knowledge to develop the curriculum. But the sequence went wrong. right?
Okay,
The
sir.
officer just understood that, oh, he's chosen this university, it's in California. A, lot of Indians there. B, Silicon Valley. Oh, he's looking for jobs. He's not listening to you. I mean, you can't push him to listen to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you have to structure your answer very well. You have to incorporate those elements which tells the officer your real intention of going and studying over there. Not believing that ये मैं कहना चाहता हूँ and this he should understand. No, these are two separate things. Okay, I
Uh,
can't say
la-
something and let the other person understand what I mean, what I meant. No, it doesn't work that way, no.
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, if the
Well,
Yes.
sir, if the officer asks why USC, so generally students tell the points that USA has Ivy League universities, the student faculty ratio, and all the general points. Should I stick to those points, or should I take out
no,
some
no.
more
The
more
question
common,
is
or
the officer is asking you why US, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, so your answer would be, sir, I did look at a couple of Indian schools. However, what I believe that Indian education system is pretty structured in the sense that there are no flexibilities. However, when I compared the course content and the way it is structured in America is very industry oriented, right? Because I
Yes, sir.
would like to specialize in these things and looking at the India market or looking at a lot of multinationals here, they are working on the international tools. So I'd like to go and study in America, and then you talk about what is the good point of the US education system, not the regular one, but what you want to incorporate. Always try and make an answer that
Okay,
is your answer. Okay, great.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Cool. I think we'll take last one, and I can see so many of you are waiting on the row. So I would like to show the Zolve app where you can book an one-on-one session with Sir. So this is the Zolve app. When you open, this page will open. If you can see, Sir, is it visible?
Not yet, not yet,
Yeah, I don't think it will
not
be.
yet.
Yeah, I think it's slightly visible now. So yeah, this is the home page. You have to go to store
Hey,
section
Mansi, I
here.
can't see it. I can't see that.
Wait, just a second, sir. Mm. Yeah.
Ah, I
So
can see it.
when you open the Zolve app, you will come to this section. Then you have to go to stores, which is here. Then you can check expert help here. When you go to expert help, you can see Sanjay Kaushik sir's name on the top. So you can book any of the services that you want by going there. Uh, with the interest of time, we can only take one more student here. Although you can always connect with sir by taking this service. I have also floated a form. The process is same. You'll have to pay a small fee. I can see people are writing, please, 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 please let me speak.
I,
But
honestly, I really would like to address everyone and
yeah,
sit down and talk to everyone because it's a larger platform and we have limited time. So please partner us. We try and incorporate as many, and that's the reason our frequency of our webinars have also increased.
yeah,
But most of the answers, during our conversation gets answered.
yeah.
Repetitive would be difficult. But anyway, thanks. Jivanshi, please
We'll take
take it
one
away.
last one, sir.
Sure.
Okay. Nitin, if you're here, you can
Yeah.
go. Nitin Sharma,
Nitin.
I can see. Is
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, Sanjay sir.
Hi, Nitin. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, sir. Sir, actually,
Yes,
I
sir.
have a three refusal from two from India and one from London. I have completed my post-graduation certificate from UK in
Okay.
Oxford Brookes University. I have applied B1, B2 visa from London
Okay.
and two F1 visa from Mumbai. That the first two visa was I was nervous and I was not able to speak anymore because I was hesitant and lots of nervousness is in my body. So I can't speak properly that time. So I know the reason that times I was not able to speak properly. He asked me everything, but I can't hear just because of nervousness. And I went to the UK directly to complete my post graduation certificate in computer science for cyber security, and I applied for B1 B2 visa as well. And just have applied, and he asked me, and there was two interview have they have taken, one for like why you are going to USA, and they have shifted me into the another window. They were taking two interviews in a single day. The another counselor was asked me that are you working or not, so have you applied any job. So I told him I didn't have any applied any job. but today I have an interview. But then he just refused me. He told me that I am refusing a visa, and I asked him, could you please tell me the reason? So he told me that I can't tell you the reason, but you need to travel more. And after that, I came back to India. Now I am working as a security engineer in Pune. And between in 2023, I have visited on a tourist visa in UK for my graduation ceremony. So I have one question that if the counselor gonna ask me that if you have completed your PG certificate from UK, why not masters from UK? Why masters from USA? So could you please tell me that how can I elaborate myself in front of counselor?
Sure. Okay, so the first thing is like, when you applied for a B1, B2, did you mention that you got relatives there, or what was your
Uh,
reason of applying for a B1,
yes,
B2?
I have mentioned there that one of my friend is living over there and he got a married, but now he shifted into India now just because of family.
You wanted to attend your friend's marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
So this was when, which year?
In 2022, I got refused.
Okay. And for your F1 in Mumbai, when was it that you had applied?
I have applied for Monroe College in Mumbai.
No, but when?
In 2019, ma'am, sir.
Okay. In 2019, you applied twice in Mumbai and 22 in UK as a B1, B2. Now you're applying for a master's, right?
Yeah, I'm from for University of New Haven in Masters in Cybersecurity and Networks,
Okay.
and I
And
have experience of 1.5 years.
okay. And how many universities did you apply to?
Sir, I've applied for total four university: Pace University, Sacred Heart University, Yeshiva, and last one University of New Haven.
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Sir Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Acha, okay. So you went to a consultant for your admissions, right?
Yes, sir, right.
Right. And he's the one who's given you all these four admits, right?
Yes, sir, right.
Right. Good. Okay. And did you apply for a GRE or a GMAT?
No, sir, not they don't need for GRE GMAT because I have completed my PG certificate and I got into the merit list. So that's why they were not required for English test and GRE also because I have an experience as well, more than 1.5 year.
Understood. Okay. Now, first thing is like Nitin, you've got to first of all hold on to your nerves. Okay.
Yes, sir,
You've got to
I got
relax.
it.
Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is try and sequence your answer in a way that you can provide information, right? But in a very concise manner. Don't again
Okay,
try and talk too much.
okay,
Okay. Now your question is that how can I tell the officer that why can't you do this in UK? Why are you going to the US, right?
right.
And where are you currently working?
So I'm currently working in Pune
No,
as
what
a
kind of organization?
yeah, this organization based on the ship code, based on the transportation. Like this company is not a service based or a product based. This company is based on transport.
Transport. Okay, so logistics.
Yes, logistic. Yeah, right.
Okay. And what will you study there now?
Uh,
In America, masters in.
Masters in cybersecurity and networks.
Okay, good. So now you can say that why do you want to go to the US? You can give all that answer. Then your question comes, why didn't you do your masters in America, in London, in UK? Why are you going to the US, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you would say so that I did my diploma in UK, and I found that UK education system and Indian education system is quite similar. You know, though I learned a lot from there, and I'm really happy that I came back to India after completing my education in UK, and I've been working now for a shipping company where we do a lot of logistics, and that's
Okay,
where we deal with a lot of international clients and primarily from the US.
got
Okay.
it.
And that's where I understood that studying in America and doing my masters in cybersecurity along with logistics uh, the cybersecurity and logistics would go together because there's a lot of communication which happens when we're doing the transportations.
Okay,
The data has to be extremely secured, and I see there are a lot of gaps, and because of that gaps, there are a lot of project failures. So I believe that US has developed the entire program of cybersecurity, in a manner which would include a lot of securities to save the data, and especially during logistics and e-commerce.
okay, got it.
Okay, hence I decided that US would be a better option for me.
Okay. So actually, the last thing is that we are not dealing with the client for the transportation or like any of these things. Just we are dealing with the if some hackers are just attacking on the organization to steal the data of the organization. So we are
That's
just
the whole thing, because you can
yeah,
say
yeah,
logistics is very important. Even companies like Amazon would like to hire people like us who understand
right.
logistics and who can secure their data.
Okay, 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 okay. Got it, got it. Okay.
Not exactly like transportation, but I was just throwing an example.
Just overview that you are explaining me. That I can explain this type of template to the
Right.
yeah.
So now you know it's Flipkart, it's like Amazon. There are so many other companies that who would like to secure the data, right?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All the best. Thanks.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, sir. It's been a session, like power-packed session. The chat is just not stopping. And I want to say sorry to everyone who could not get a chance here, but because we are limited by time. But we have options for you. I have already shared one option by, that you can book via Zolve app. Secondly, we'll keep organizing these webinars because we really want to be a part of your journey and we really want to help you. And Sanjay sir is giving his quality time to help every one of you. So, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining here. Sanjay sir, any last words, sir?
Once again, thank you so much, Mansi, and thank you so much, Zol. It gives me, lot of what do you say, a high when I talk to the students. I really, really want to help them out, and I believe that I'm bringing in value. If they can also understand what I keep telling them, be prepared, be concise, have your story intact, and I really want everyone to be extremely, extremely successful in their careers. And once again, thank you so much, Zolve, and thank you for organizing this and wishing everyone all the very best. And thank you, especially Mansi and the team.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to explain again because I can see again people are asking how to book one-on-one service with sir. So when you open the Zolve app, you will see this, right? This is the home screen. Then you have to go to stores. In the store section, you will find all the visa bundles. If you click here, get expert help, right? If you click here, you can see Sanjay sir's name here. So there are multiple services that Sanjay sir will provide if you book via this app. So you just have to pay a small fee and you
Right.
can just click here and apply, right? Other than that, and this is the form that you can fill, and Sanjay sir's team will get back to you. It won't take more than 24 hours to get back to you. I will make
Absolutely.
that sure, right? So, yeah, thank you so much. And I would like to talk about our next webinar. So, next webinar we are doing with students whose visa have got approved in fall 23 or this season. So I'm sure they will be able to add a lot of value by sharing their experiences with you. The next webinar is on Wednesday, 19th of June. Make sure you attend that and so that you can hear from them on how they have structured their answers. So their visa got approved and you can learn from them on how you can also structure your answer and what are the different scenarios in different consulate. So tomorrow's webinar is from students whose visa got approved from Delhi and Mumbai consulates. We'll keep organizing more such webinars and we'll have a mock interview session again this Friday at 12 p.m. So make sure you attend that and we will keep attending more such session with Sanjay sir as well. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much
Thanks.
everyone
Thanks.
for joining. See you
Thank
in the
you.
next
Bye-bye.
webinar.
All the best. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.